Rocket League is now free to play and is right now a more popular game than mighty CSGO and surpasses it in all-time concurrent players with above 1.3 million players online, guys, at the same time, of course. Who would have ever thought that? It's simply amazing. I made this video today because I want to welcome all the new Rocket League players with a list of 10 things I wish I knew when I started out playing Rocket League years back. So let's get into the video. Tip number one is the rule number one. Since the beginning of Rocket League, there's always been one single rule that everybody must obey. It used to be that in a game, after the time has run out, every player must try to keep the ball up no matter the consequences. That rule has actually changed in the past few years, so the rule number one is now that if you get stuck with another car from the opposing team, both of the stuck players have to stay stuck to each other until a goal has been scored from either team. If you don't follow this rule, guys, I promise you players will probably be extra toxic against you and maybe even report you for bad sportsmanship. I'm not lying. So stay stuck to each other, guys. Tip number two, good camera settings are essential. Most people know that when entering a new game of any kind, it's nice to go and change the graphics settings so the game is more pleasing to the eye, but not many players go and explore other options than the graphic options. What makes Rocket League so special is that almost all settings make a big difference, especially the camera settings. Rocket League might look like a simple and casual game at first glance, but once you spend some time with it, you realize that it's far from that. Rocket League has a pretty high skill ceiling, and if you want to reach the top, you want to have every advantage possible, and that includes optimal Rocket League camera settings, so you're able to control your car as precisely as possible. I'm not gonna go into details with camera settings because that could be a whole other video for itself. What I will do though is show some of the pros camera settings here on screen. You can take a photo with your phone and use these settings as a start, and then we can talk more in detail about the settings in another video. Tip number three, the circle underneath the ball. Maybe you have noticed, maybe you haven't, but there's actually a little circle underneath the ball that can help you to balance the ball on your car. When I started playing, I had no idea it was there. I had so much other stuff to focus on in-game that it was completely invisible to me. Even when I started practicing actual dribbles in Rocket League, I did not notice this circle until way too late. Basically, this circle can help you to carry the ball around on your car, which is called dribbling. You have to position your car in the center of the circle and you are able to dribble with the ball. So if you feel the ball is slipping away from you, try to get your car in the center of the circle. Of course, it's a little bit more advanced than that, but you get the idea, and once you drive around the ball like this, you totally understand what I'm talking about. Tip number four, transparent goal posts. This one is pretty essential when you're staying inside of the goal and you want to see what's going on in your defensive corners. So you can see I'm staying here in goal and I have no idea what's going on in the corners. I go into the graphics settings and check the transparent goalpost setting, and now I'm actually able to see what's going on outside of the goal. Pretty neat. There's not much to talk about here, just please go enable the transparent goalpost setting if it's not already. You'll thank me when you're finding yourself stuck in goal, I promise. Tip number five, Rocket League is a toxic environment. Rocket League has some of the most toxic players I have ever met in my gaming career, and it does not matter how good you play or how nice you are to everyone that you play with or against. Trust me, I'm a nice guy, and I've tried everything. There will always be matches where somebody is going to be a real bitch about something. So if you're a person that gets tilted very easily by other players commenting shit about you, do something good for yourself and go into options and disable the chat right away. Other than that, just really try not to let other players get to you. It's really a part of the game, and the quick chat option makes it really easy to get into each other's head. Even in 1 versus 1 in the pro scene, some players are actually being toxic on purpose just so they can try to tilt the other player into playing worse. Tip number 6, Rocket League is about teamwork. Yeah, I know, of course, you know Rocket League is a team-based game, but I have to bring this topic into the conversation because there are some very essential team-based things which, if you adapt this early on, you will have not only a better time playing Rocket League, but a much easier time ranking up. One of these things being rotations. Most high-level Rocket League players could possibly talk about rotations for hours, but to be honest, you can probably hold off knowing more in-depth rotations until you're at least in the middle of Diamond. Actually, I waited until I was Champ 2 in order to look into more advanced rotations, which was very bad of me. Don't be like me, please. Your teammates will hate you. Okay, so basically when you play with others in free versus free, you have to move around each other in a constant motions, taking turns to play each position. Let's call the free positions defender, middleman and attacker. That means that two players will never play the same position. So if you're playing defensive, you have to move up to be the middleman, and after that you're gonna play the attacker. After you've played attacker, you're gonna go back to being defensive and the circle starts again. Of course, there are gonna be scenarios where this does not apply, and this is also a very basic rotation. So when you're racking up into higher levels, you will probably need to look into a little bit more advanced rotations, but we can take that another time. Keep in mind that when you're in low rank, people have no idea of rotations, so you probably have to be a little bit more defensive than your teammates. But it never hurts to know more than your teammates, and this will definitely help you when you just rank up a little bit. Rotations is key in Rocket League. Tip number 7, use your flip. Epic Games actually showed this in their basic tutorial before you enter Rocket League. Basically, you push your left joystick to any direction while double tapping your jump button, which is normally X on a controller. You'll flip the car into that specific direction. This can both be used to gain speed when having no boost at all, but also in order to hit the ball harder and give it extra speed. Or actually, you are able to reach a ball that was otherwise impossible to reach by using your flip. When I started out, I hit almost nothing when trying to flip into the ball. I swear to you guys, but it's very essential to know how to use your flip to do different stuff in Rocket League. Trust me, there's only one way to get better at something in Rocket League. You just keep failing until you don't. Tip number 8, supersonic speed. Oh my god people, this one is one that I wish I knew way before I actually did. Basically, your car has a max speed, referred to as supersonic speed in Rocket League. It's also the speed you need to reach in order to demo other people, make their car explode, right? The big tip here, guys, is that when you have reached this speed, there's no need to use more boost because you're not able to drive faster than this, which makes it a waste of your boost using it. As an example, when I play and I want to know if my car is going at supersonic speed, I usually look at the trails under my wheels of the car. When you're at supersonic speed and you drive straight ahead, you will keep the speed, but if at some point you turn the car, your car will go down a little bit in speed and you will have to use a little boost again to maintain your supersonic speed. Tip number 9, training packs and free play. Alright, if you don't know what training packs and free play is, you should. Not only are they essential in order to improve your mechanics in Rocket League, they can also be very fun to play. One of my favorite Rocket League pros, Squishy Muffins, one of the reasons why he's one of the best players of the scene today is that he played a lot of training packs and a lot of free play. A lot of free play. He used to have really sucky internet for years, so instead of playing online matches, he would just sit in free play, roll the ball around, which is why his mechanics and ball control are so nuts today. If you're a total beginner, I would say you should probably start with free play and just roll the ball around, up the walls, try flipping into the ball until you're a little bit more comfortable with the ball and especially your own car and your movement, and then move on to training packs afterwards. Tip number 10, trade-ups. Alright, this one is for all your cosmetic addicts out there. Every time you level up in Rocket League, you get an item, usually an uncommon item. When you have 10 uncommon items, you can trade them up to one item of higher quality. Let me show you how it works here. Alright, it's actually pretty straightforward. You head to the main menu, of course, you go into your garage, you manage inventory. Here you can see all the items that you own. I usually push triangle to get some filters on it so I don't have to see all of them, all of my items, and I go to quality and uncommon if that's the quality I want to trade out. Then I choose one of the items. Now I have 2 in this case, so I'll bump it up to 2 and OK. And now we can see I have 2 in the trade-in window here in the bottom. I have 1 tire more, which means that I need 2 more uncommon items in order to trade it up to the next quality. But after it's filled out, you basically just push start on your controller, which it also says in the bottom, the trade window, and then you get 1 item of a higher quality. So yeah, easy peasy. That was it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video because I really enjoyed making it, and I hope you got something out of it as well. When I made this list of things a beginner should know about Rocket League, I found out that almost each of the topics we talked about could benefit from a more in-depth tutorial. But in this video I just quickly touched upon the individual topics, so if you would like me to do a video where I go more in depth with some of the specific topics, or a whole other topic for that sake, related to Rocket League of course, leave a comment and tell me. But for now, see you in the next video.